All right, guys, welcome back to Up North Aquatics. Today's the day of the live fish arrival and unboxing, and just got the notification from the post office that the fish are in, so I'm here to pick them up, and I'll check back in at home. All right, everybody, so here they are. I did cut the box open already. As you can see, it's a shipment from Aqua Huna. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got inside. So you can see they pack very well. Whole box lined with styrofoam, and there should be a heat pack that is still warm, which is perfect because they're in the north, I'm in the north. Got to make sure they stay nice and warm in transit. These guys are supposed to be in transit for 5 days, and they came in 3, which is great. But let's take a minute to read their directions, and I will chime back in once I have a summary of it. All right, so that was basically just a guide on how to acclimate new fish, which I will follow the directions to the T because they are their fish and they do guarantee success. So I'm going to do that, document it, so that if anything does go wrong, I will have that. But now let's get our bag open here and see what we got. All right, so here it is, and all the fish are looking great. We have Pea Puffers. I got 12 total to grow out, and then once we can sex them, we will figure out what's best for them there, because they do need to be in kind of a female heavy school, so we can move some around as we need to. So there's one bag, all doing alive and well. There's the second bag, same story. The next bag is 10 albino Cardinal Tetras, just to try something different. Of course, they're all washed out right now, so you can't really see the blue and red too much. And then 2 blue mystery snails. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all these guys acclimated. I'll float them for 15 minutes, and then I'll check back in for the rest of the acclimation. All right, guys, down in the fish room now, and the fish are floating, but the snails were not in water. They were wrapped in a wet paper towel. It's really dark in here right now because none of the lights are on yet. They're all on timers. So the quality's kind of bad, I know, but so with these guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them right into the snail tank. And we will check back in on them when I'm done acclimating the rest of the fish. All right, so once these guys are temperature acclimated, Aqua Huna says to go ahead and put them in a container with the bag water and slowly siphon in some water from your tank, which does make sense for pH swing and things like that. Usually I don't do it that way. Usually I just temperature acclimate, plop and drop into the tank, and let them take a couple weeks to kind of adjust to the parameters. I've never had an issue doing it that way. I was going to try to do it Aqua Huna's way for this video, but as soon as I got them in this container, exposed to the open air, they are starting to breathe heavier and heavier, and I am worried about ammonia. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump these guys right into the tank, not with the bag water. I'm gonna put them through a net and dump them right into the tank, just to get them in some fresh warm water, because they just are not acting the way I want them to act. They're breathing really heavily, and some of them are starting to swim upside down. So for the albino Cardinal Tetras, we're gonna go ahead and just do the what would be called plop and drop method. Again, just adjusting them to the heat, putting them right into clean, warm water, and giving them time to acclimate. Oh, and as you can see, they're all gonna probably go straight for the bottom. Most of them are already back in the plants. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted watching them. They are really good looking fish. You will notice I do have a male betta in here. He's new enough to the fish room that I'm comfortable kind of quarantining them all together. Not all of these guys look like they're doing too hot though. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and turn this tank's light off, and I will check in about 24 hours or so. And it looks like I'm gonna be removing that male betta because he's going after them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him out of there and into another empty tank in the fish room to quarantine on his own. Always a risk with them. He did really well with the bloodfin tetras, but looks like in this case he's not going to do so well. So I'll get him into a tank of his own, shut these guys' lights off, and just kind of let them relax. And I will check in tomorrow with an update on them. All right, so I did end up moving this male betta into the snail tank, and of course he's kind of hiding in the plants as they do. Get a good look at him there. He can ride it out here for a little while until we figure out a good place for him. Maybe one of the 10 gallons in the upcoming planted 10-gallon build. And I do want to like peek in on these blue mystery snails who went straight to eating right away. They shipped out of water perfectly fine. Hopefully we have a pair and get some breeding in, because I really do like, for a snail, that's a good looking snail. I really like that guy in the so yeah, hopefully we got a pair and we'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll also check in on these guys tomorrow. Just want to chime in, if you can see them in the dark, not even 3 minutes after I plop and drop these guys in, just temperature acclimating them, they're already out schooling, swimming around just fine. So again, it's not the way Aqua Huna recommended it, but it's the way I've always done it, and I've always had success with it. So I think I'm gonna go do the same thing with the puffer fish, and I will chime back in. All right, everybody, here's the Pea Puffers. Again, just temperature acclimated. I did not acclimate by mixing the tank waters and stuff, like Aqua Huna suggested, just because of kind of how these guys looked after a few days in the bag. They're looking really good now. This container, I put their bag water in here and then I slowly change it out with tank water. The reason being, puffer fish, if they puff up out of water, they can get stuck. They can't release air, excuse me, like they can with water. So you had to kind of keep them submerged at all times to keep them from, I mean, essentially killing themselves, trying to protect themselves. So without further ado, we'll release these guys. Again, shut the light off, let them settle in for the night, and I will check back with updates on everybody tomorrow. And away they go, and wow, do they look small in here. But they're settling down in the plants as I would expect them to. They do enjoy a lot of plant cover. They also have some hiding holes and whatnot in here. But yeah, so long-term plan with these guys: grow them out, sex them out, put them in groups throughout different tanks. Like I said, we do have that 10-gallon build coming up on the channel, so that they're in female heavy groups. And if I can get my water parameters right, maybe I will try to breed these guys. I know these guys are captive bred. It is possible. It might be a challenge, but I mean, hey, follow along if you want to see me try. Anyway, you know, I'm always looking for new crazy things to do with the hobby, but these guys are going to be fun. They're going to eat some of the baby snails that these bigger snails are producing. So I'm hoping to have kind of a steady food supply in here for them. One of them's already eyeing up that snail that's the size of its body. How funny. And they are kind of almost schooling in a way, but probably more because of nerves than anything. But and their staple will probably be bloodworms. So we'll do a lot of feeding videos on these guys. You can help me grow them up, and yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. So I'm going to shut these lights off, which is the best part when you have new fish, not being able to see them for a whole day. We'll shut these lights off, let these guys chill out until this time tomorrow, which is going to be Sunday afternoon. And then I'll check in with you guys with an update on these guys, the albino Cardinal Tetras and the blue mystery snails. So we'll see you then. All right, so I did mention I was hoping that these guys would eat some of the snails that the larger snails produced. And these guys have been in here for about 5 minutes, 12 of them. And I swear I've seen just about every single one already eat a snail egg nest, and they're all over the place in here. So maybe we'll give it a little while to see if they don't keep themselves full that way. Give it a few days before I even try to feed them or anything like that, and see how many of these snail egg nests disappear. They're all over the glass in here. They're really hard to film, but there are, gosh, at least 50 nests. So yeah, we'll see if they even let the snails get to that size, or even let the eggs hatch, I could say. Wait to see if that one strikes at that snail. It's the same size as his body. But anyway, I'll stop sitting around staring at them, get the lights turned off, let them relax for a day, and we'll check in tomorrow and see how many eggs they've eaten. See if we can even get baby snails to hatch out for them to eat. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, everybody, it's been 24 hours since we put the Pea Puffers in their tank. As you can see, they're doing very well. They are picking up bloodworms out of these plants that I dropped in there. They are being a little bit nippy with each other with the food around, but other than that, they were doing just fine. They did not eat any more of the snail egg nests that we saw them eating yesterday. But yeah, every single one of them still in here doing really well, and they are extremely active. So follow along for more updates on these guys. We'll definitely grow them out on the channel, and it'll be a good time. And here's our Cardinal Tetras that didn't look too hot in the bag yesterday, but as you can see, they've colored up just fine. You can see all the red and blue now. They are albino, so it's a little harder to see, but looking like they're supposed to look, acting like they're supposed to act. Again, we'll do an update on these guys that will follow along, as well as doing some feeding videos coming up. So, but yeah, 24 hours after the unboxing, and so far everybody's doing great. All right, and here are the two blue mystery snails, one there and one under the other snails where I dropped an algae wafer. And all I can say about these guys is they moved. So I'm assuming they're doing just fine. I've seen them both move around. I've seen them both eat at this point. Kind of nothing out of the ordinary with them, but we'll keep up with them too, because I am hoping, you know, by some off chance that I could breed just the two of them. If not, I like them so much I'm going to snag a few more next time we do an Aqua Huna order. All right, everybody, if you made it this far, thanks for following along. And there was our live fish arrival and unboxing from Aqua Huna. And I mean, so far so good. I'm very happy with the way they packed them. I'm very happy with the way they showed up, and I'm very happy with the way that, you know, we had to acclimate them, not the way they suggested, just because of how they looked. And they still did great. So I am all in all thrilled, and I would recommend them. I am going to order from them again, I think, when I do the 10-gallon aquarium rack build, when we get those tanks set up and get them planted and, you know, obviously cycled. I think we will order from them again. I'll grab some more mystery snails if these guys aren't breeding for me, to see if we can't breed those too. So yeah, thanks for following along. If this is the kind of content that you like, please like and subscribe. And again, thanks for stopping by.